Hello, everyone. My name is Oladele Ayorinde. I'm happy to welcome you to the Organ House Concert and Seminar Series. For some of you joining us for the first time, the Organ House Concert and Seminar Series is a space of critical engagement, discussion of music, exploration of music in terms of its artistic dynamics, creative content, as well as the relationship between music and society, and what music can tell us about the society. What we do in essence is to create a free space of learning where people can come together to learn and negotiate new forms of knowledge, idea, challenging, rigorously traditions of knowledge, and also expanding, building on tradition, years of knowledge and history in knowledge making. So what we do here is simply creating an alternative space for freedom of engagement, freedom of expression, as well as a space where we can nurture new generation of scholars, of thinkers, as well as performers and composers in Nigeria, Africa, and across that are in relation to the global space also. So I'm happy to welcome you to the Organized Concert and Seminar Series. We have a series of projects we are working on. We are busy with a lot in terms of documentation, um, composition, archiving. We have a series of ongoing projects, some of which I will share with you towards the end of this uh, session today. So my name is Oladele Ayorinde again. So for some of you again joining us, I am wearing two caps, here as usual. So I am a visiting senior research fellow at the Mountain Top University, particularly at the music department. I'm also a research fellow at Stellenbosch University, talking about the Africa Open Institute for Music Research and Innovation. So, within this context, I'm wearing two caps representing two powerful institutions here. But in all, it's for good. Yeah. So today's focus is simply about we've been working on the notion of writing in the last 3 weeks, and I noticed some of our friends have been very, very, they've been part of this journey in terms of hands-on experience. So, as mentioned earlier in the beginning of this particular series, this is quite different to the kind of seminar we do on a weekly basis. So, what we do here within the context of this writing workshop, writing session, writing empowerment, is to create a space where we all could work together. So what I do is to lay the idea on the table, just like a bit the typical piano or music performance. You lay this theme, you lay the subject, and you develop it. So what I do, my business in this context of this workshop, symposium with you, is simply to lay the idea, and all of us we are going to work together. As usual, we have the slide where I do my own work. Then, as soon as it gets to your turn, I will take you to the writing dashboard where you do your writing as well. So don't forget, it's a collaborative process. It's a collective effort. Yeah, so I'm only playing my role now. So when it is your turn, you are definitely going to be invited to play your role. And in all, towards the end, we are going to discuss. We are going to the floor will be open for you to ask questions. You have a question, you have things you want to ask, or something, or some of the topics we have discussed in the last 3 weeks that you need clarification or that you need further engagement. You are welcome to ask. Yeah. So let's start from somewhere. I'm going to share my slide. Yeah, okay. So this is my space. When it gets to your turn, I will definitely take you to your space. So get ready. So before now, for some of you that attended the session last week, we started from basic, the general structure upper week. Last week we advanced into segments, what constitutes the process of creating a narrative, particularly within the context of phrase, prose, as well as creating a narrative. We did that last week, and I'm happy that some of you joined, and we collectively we created that. We engaged dashboard. Thank you so much for volunteering. Again, we are going to have the same experience today, so get ready to do that. Yeah. So this particular section, okay, this were some of the things we did last week. Yeah, structuring, constructing paragraph and structures of meaning. We did this. Then we did the work. Then sentence construction, ideas of prose. So I think the best thing to do is to go to our YouTube channel. The recordings are there. Take advantage of it. We also have a writing lab, a group or a platform on WhatsApp. I'm going to share that with you shortly, so you can also join us. Yeah, we have a writing lab. Please take note, it is not a WhatsApp group. It's a writing lab that is hosted on WhatsApp. What that means is that if you are joining us, you are joining a lab. What do they do in a lab? We work, we read, we study on a practical basis. So I will update you. I will provide more update on that as we progress in this particular session. So last week we engaged from the ideas of sentence, writing a basic sentence, and the difference between a sentence and a prose. So you can get all the structuring, argument, coherence, paragraphing. We did all this last week. Again, visit the YouTube channel and follow us so you can get more updates on the things we do regularly. Yeah. But today we are advancing on that particular idea, the issues we explored last week. So we are focusing on two important components. I think one important component we will touch briefly on the second layer, because these are important and very they are critical themes and topics that we need time to gradually explore them. They are not things, these are not concepts or topics or ideas we want to rush. We can't rush this. So we need to take them step by step, systematically. But so today we are going to focus more on the first layer, which is the structuring paragraphs. Then we are going to introduce the essay structure. Then hopefully we can get to introduction a bit. Then we'll continue next week or announce the next session. But most importantly, today's focus is the structuring a paragraph. That's very, very important. That's the next level we are right now. So let's continue. So structuring a paragraph, what does that mean? What is a paragraph? Why does it matter? What does a paragraph do? How does it enhance our writing or your narrative in this context? So paragraph is the basic block that helps your thinking process, that curates, your thinking process from one particular section, one particular space, and helps you, in terms of structuring thinking process to the last, to your destination. So paragraph is like a mini block, a foundation you are laying, then you populate the foundation. As soon as you are done with that particular foundation, you are moving to the next one, but you are connecting, the next foundation you are building, developing on the initial design, then you are generating. But in terms of writing, every paragraph contains one idea. I know this is a common knowledge, and I'm sure you know about this. So I'm only reiterating, trying to more like bringing it to fore, just to remind us, because that's the context we are working on today. But paragraph contains one idea. So how does this idea work? So these are the things we want to briefly explore today. So in a paragraph, we have three on a basic level, we have three important or four important layers that shape or define a paragraph. A paragraph is not just a paragraph is not a kind of writing block you just drop there, do anyhow you like. A paragraph is a design, that's more like improvisation. You lay down the theme for those musicians or singers that are on the platform, then you strategically and critically develop that theme, in a very beautiful way, taking cognizance of different emotion that helps that you intend to portray while also defending yourself. Don't worry, I'll get to that. So let's start from the first one. A paragraph constitutes or is shaped by four important processes. These are just the basic anyway. So let's move to the first one, which is what we call the topic sentence. The first layer in these four rubrics or four units of a paragraph. The first one is called the topic sentence. The second is called the supporting evidence, or we call it evidence. Yeah, then the third is the analysis, or we can call it explanation also. Then the last one is the linking sentence, or we call it concluding sentence, that also dovetail, or overlap, connect you into the next room, into the next bus, into the next space you want to, on your journey, So let's take them one by one and see how they function, and using examples to explore them one by one. Don't forget, writing is a creative process, and particularly we're talking about narrative writing. Narrative writing is all about creativity. So you are generating idea, and we are writing within a particular context, depending on wherever you are standing in terms of your field, the genre. We discussed this in the first. Please check the video in the first segment. We discussed the genre, types of writing. In this case, we are working on. Of course, we are exploring writing in a broad, idea, broad understanding of. We're exploring it broader of writing, but taking a leap, from scholarly writing, because some of our colleagues are from they are scholars, they are from the universities across the world. So thank you. Let's move to the first one. Let's talk about the topic sentence. Now, what I've done I don't want to bore you, if you notice, so I want to make it very in a snappy way, so we can get to the hands-on process as soon as possible. So I'm going to cut, leave behind a lot of explanation, no explanation. I'm going to give you the example, then we're going to go into the process, but I'll help you, don't worry. So in a paragraph, so this is how I have, explained or tried to provide how the cycle, it's a cycle, that keeps repeating itself in different ways. So the first thing you have is what we call the topic sentence. Then after the topic sentence, you move to the next one, which is called the supporting evidence. Don't worry, we are going to give a sample of each of these process. So the second is the evidence, supporting evidence. The topic sentence in most cases is a broad idea, something very huge, but because you can't just drop anything anyhow, you can't just say anything anyhow because you feel like saying something. No, you say something and you provide a supporting evidence. Don't forget, why do you need evidence in your writing, in a building a paragraph? Because writing is a craft, it's an expressive process, it's a creative process. So when you lay something that is quite vague, broad, that is too cumbersome or ambiguous in most cases, or contains some element of generalization, you need to support with evidence, particularly in the scholarly or academic context. You don't just say things because you feel like saying them. You say things and you provide evidence. We call it shield. I'll get there. So the second layer is called the supporting evidence. You say something in in Ibadan in 1979, this and this and this happened. No, you can't just leave us hanging. You need to provide a kind of evidence to support that broad statement. You see, then the second one, the third layer, is what we call the analysis slash explanation. So after you provide the evidence, you are definitely going have to, you have to provide analysis. You need to unpack. Another word is unpack. You say you lay down the idea, you provide evidence. Then the next step is to unpack. Let us bring it down to our level, and bring it down to common people's level. Make sure we understand. In so doing, your business is to analyze, break it down by analysis. I am not just referring to in the music context. No, I'm talking about you breaking down what you have said, what you have written, for people to understand. Texts, materials, ideas cannot explain themselves. They don't explain themselves. You must explain. So, and that is the essence of that third layer. You need to analyze, tell us, okay, oh, I said in Ibadan, but this is what it means. In this context, you provide examples, you draw from other resources. I'm sure you've done a lot of reading. So you also draw, related ideas across spaces, across town, across geographies, so of the world, across places, you draw comparative explanation. The business here is to help us understand what you are saying. We are not going to understand automatically. No. It's your business to help us understand by analyzing, breaking it down to, bringing it down to our level. If that's I think that's what it is. Yeah, bringing it down to people's level, because because when you write, you write for audience. In most cases, it could be audiences, it could be multi. You are writing for a kind of entangled demographics. You have old people, you have younger people, you have people of different races. So you are thinking in this multi-directional, ways to meet everybody's need. You want to help people understand you. So that is where explanation is very important. Then the last one is what I call the concluding statement. In most cases, we call it also linking sentence. Linking sentence is the last statement in that is the last process in the paragraph, rubric or block. So that sentence is definitely preparing the way for your next idea. Don't forget, a paragraph contains one idea. Don't write a paragraph and finish the article there. No. Start with one idea and unpack, provide evidence, and stretch it out. When you are done with that, then you come to the linking sentence. You must link, let people. So you can't just write one idea and drop it and there's a disconnection. No, that is not communication. Communication is flow. You need to think of flow, how you connect one idea. Think in zigzag or a bracket form. You move this way, which I will show you very soon. So this is what I mean. This is how you move. You see, you have your topic sentence, and the moment you are done with that, you are going to another curve. Can you see the curve? You see, then you move to your analysis. So there's always a connection, and from your linking sentence, you must make sure you must make sure that there's a connection. You connect to another paragraph. Your last word, your closing phrase, your closing statement must open us into another topic, must connect. So at that level, so that is a kind of a basic structure. So then, how does this constitute or help writing? The reality here is that this curve, you see, you keep repeating this curve, according to sections, which we'll get to shortly. So in your first section, let's talk about introduction. You start from somewhere, you finish the first idea, you move to the next one, and this is how you are going to write. In case you want to write in the depending on your structure, of course, I'll get to that shortly. Depending on your roadmap, your mind map, what, because it's a journey. You must see the end sometimes from the beginning. Okay, I am going, this is my destination, and this is how I want to get there. That is part of your structuring, which I will get to. Because you have this idea, understanding. So your linking, your crafting will definitely weave towards your direction. It's like you want to go, let's say, for those in Lagos or from in Accra or even Johannesburg. Let's start from Lagos. You want to go to Ikeja from Ojodu Bega. You have many routes, or you want to go to CMS, Tafa Balewa Square from Ojodu Bega. You could either take the Third Mainland Bridge. You could also, if you wish, take where that place called Ikorodu. No, you can, yes, Ojota, Ikorodu Road, drive down to Costain. So it depends on what you want to do. You could also cut the process, follow Ikorodu Road. You can also, follow Anthony, get into the town, into the community from Uyanawuru. Then you come out to Uyanawuru. You can, depending on your choice and how you want to direct that movement, But what's important in the writing case is the creative process. Your agency, your personality, your emotion are all at work. Yeah, you are in charge. You are the driver. You are in charge of all the process, from your thought process, curating it together. You are in charge. So this is the curve. So you keep repeating this curve within different contexts until you get to your destination. Okay, how does that work? Let's explore some examples. Okay, I hope you can see this, for instance. So what we have here, I am going to take you through a 4-step process to constructing a paragraph in a very basic way, and I'm going to start with a general topic or a general idea, something that is common, general, open to anyone, to understand. So let's begin. So the first one, what we have here is let's adjust this. So the first thing we have, so you have I'm coming again. Let's see. Yeah, you have the topic sentence. Yeah, you have the topic sentence as mentioned earlier. So the first layer is the topic sentence. So this means begin with a clear and concise topic sentence that states the main idea of the paragraph. Yes. So your topic sentence is the theme, is the main idea of the paragraph. So for instance, look at this particular example. I'm going to use a general example as mentioned. So the benefits of a regular exercise are numerous. That's a topic sentence, for instance. Again, I'm going to say that again. So the benefit of a regular exercise are numerous. Then that is a topic sentence. Then step 2 is I need to provide. I can't just leave you that way. So I need to provide I need to support that particular broad statement with what we explain as supporting evidence. For example, let's see. So supporting evidence provide, as mentioned, it's evidence such as facts. It could be facts, it could be statistics, or examples to develop the main idea. Again, supporting evidence provides supporting evidence such as facts, statistics, or examples to develop the main idea. Of course, before you can write, or let's take the context of this particular gathering. We have many scholars here, so I'm sure you have done your research. So your evidence, your facts, your statistics and examples are definitely coming from your research. It could be from your reading, your broad reading, your data, your study, your archival exploration. So you have all those resources. We call them data sometimes, but I'll get to that shortly. So you have all those materials, with you. So this is where you generate your fact. You have separated, you have sorted what is useful at a particular time in this beautiful and creative journey. So then after the topic sentence, then you provide evidence, of course, drawing from those data. For example, the first one, which is the topic sentence as mentioned, then the second one is the evidence in this context. For example, I read, regular exercise can help reduce the risk of chronic diseases such as heart disease and diabetes. So I'm going to read the topic sentence as well as the supporting evidence together now. Benefit of regular exercise are numerous. Regular exercise can help reduce the risk of chronic diseases such as heart disease and diabetes. That is the second layer. Then the third layer is what we call the analysis or explanation. You have provided the topic sentence, supporting evidence, then you can't just leave us there. You need to help unpack further. So that is your context. So you provide explanation. Now, for instance, you analyze or explain the supporting evidence to show how it relates to the main idea. This is very, very important. It's a trend. Yeah. So, for instance, the third layer in this case, I'm going to read. This is because regular exercise helps to improve cardiovascular health and insulin sensitivity. I'm going to read that again. This is because regular exercise helps to improve cardiovascular health and insulin sensitivity. So I'm going to read the topic sentence, the supporting evidence, and the analysis. The benefits of regular exercise are numerous. Regular exercise can help reduce the risk of chronic diseases such as heart disease and diabetes. This is because regular exercise helps to improve cardiovascular health and insulin sensitivity. That is the third layer. Then the third layer, which is the linking sentence to the next paragraph, or what we call the closing sentence. You're rounding it up. So then this is, in other words, use a linking sentence to connect the paragraph to the next idea or to summarize the main point. Don't forget, is the last layer of your paragraph. So you need to unpack everything together while also preparing us for the next idea. So let's try that. So for example, you have overall, incorporating regular exercise into one's lifestyle can have a significant impact on both physical and mental health. I'm going to read that again. Overall, incorporating regular exercise into one's lifestyle can have a significant impact on both physical and mental health. So I am going to read from the topic sentence down to the linking sentence. So let's read the paragraph together. The benefits of regular exercise are numerous. Regular exercise can help reduce the risk of chronic diseases such as heart disease and diabetes. This is because regular exercise helps to improve cardiovascular health and insulin sensitivity. Overall, incorporating regular exercise into one's lifestyle could have a significant impact on both physical and mental health. That's it. Okay, let's take a music example. Let's take a music example and let's see how this works in music context. So I'm going to use, hopefully, a common theme, something that is very common, particularly to music scholars who are on this platform. My apologies for those who are not music scholars, but I promise you, I won't bore you. You understand. I'll bring it down to, that's our business. Even writing itself is about communication. So let's try. So the first one, again, so we are going to use the same process to analyze, to create a sentence using music now, which is a context of our conversation, which is a primary context. Of course, there are secondary and tertiary contexts here. Yeah. So the use of minor keys, a topic sentence now. The use of minor keys in music can create a sober and introspective mood. For example, Chopin's Piano Sonata Number 2, Funeral March, is written in the key of B flat minor and features a haunting melody that evokes a sense of sorrow and loss. The use of the minor key and the slow, mournful tempo create a sense of gravitas and solemnity, perfectly capturing the mood of a funeral procession. Similarly, many contemporary musicians use minor keys to create a sober and introspective mood in their music. Yeah, that's a music example. I'm going to read that again. Okay, let's read the paragraph itself, Yeah, so this is a paragraph. Now, I'd like to call your attention to something. A paragraph could be could be a four, no, I think 5 line. A 4 line, could be 4 lines, could be 6 lines, 7 line, 8 line, up to 10 lines. I think 10 lines is okay, but some depending on the context, often present up to 11, 13, 14, 15 lines. But that will, so in most cases, that could bore, overstretch or bore your reader. So in most cases, it's good to make it shorter. Simplicity, make it shorter, so you can create or maintain the momentum, the attention span, Also, depending on your creativity, how you are able to sustain, the attention of your reader as you progress in your journey. So let's read together. The use of minor keys in music can create a sober and introspective mood. For example, Chopin's Piano Sonata Number 2, Funeral March, is written in the key of B flat minor and features a haunting melody that evokes a sense of sorrow and loss. The use of minor key and the slow, mournful tempo create a sense of gravitas and solemnity, perfectly capturing the mood of a funeral procession. Similarly, many contemporary musicians use minor keys to create a sober and introspective mood in their music. Yeah, that's a paragraph. We started from the use of minor key in music can create a sober and introspective mood. That's a big claim you just made there. Then quickly, for you to bail yourself of that big ambiguous claim, you have to provide an evidence. Evidence could be a story, it could be a history, it could be a practical experience, or somebody's work that is, in most cases, public knowledge. It could also be a literature. It could be you could cite somebody. It could also be a public event that is open, yeah. But the most important thing in that second layer is for you to back up the claim. Look at the first claim. The first claim has nothing to do with a particular musician. It is you talking, making a stand, taking a stop, taking a position, telling us the use of minor keys in music can create a sober and introspective mood. They're going to ask you, says who, according to whose philosophy, according to whose theory. But in order to avoid such question, you need to provide evidence to bail yourself. So in this case, I say, for example, Chopin's Piano Sonata Number 2, entitled Funeral March, is written in the key of B flat minor and features a haunting melody that evokes a sense of sorrow and loss. That is an evidence. You just provided an evidence, drawing from the work of Chopin to buttress your claim. Then the next level, the next line, for those who don't understand at that particular point, you need to expand, you need to explain, you need to come back to their level to open it up for further explanation or analysis for them to understand. Don't forget, analysis is a means to an end to understand. It's not a theory. It's not something standing somewhere, even in music and in other forms of text or praxis. Analysis is helping you to know or helping your readers to know something that is not so visible or that is limited to a particular group of practice or in group knowledge system, like music in this case. Chopin Piano Sonata Number 2, Funeral March, is not a popular concept to the common man on the street. This is mostly popular, or let's put it in the Lagos context. This will only be popular among music scholars, performers, pianists, organists, or those who work in concert hall or within the classical music scene. You see, but because of the general audience, you want to make sense. You want to help people understand beyond the classical, music community. You also want to open the knowledge for. So then you need to provide further explanation or analysis of that statement again. So then the use of minor key and the slow, mournful tempo create a sense of gravitas and solemnity, perfectly capturing the mood of a funeral procession. Of course, somebody who is not a music scholar will definitely connect at this moment. Yes, they will connect at this moment because you brought the knowledge down to their own understanding at this moment. So, for instance, you have what you call the slow. Everybody understand what it means for something to slow. Mournful. These are popular terms. Solemnity, mood of a funeral procession. These are common terms that an average person will understand. So by doing this, you have helped your reader to provide another picture that are not necessarily limited to Chopin and the context of that music alone, but taking us into the broader everyday understanding of slow, funeral procession, mood, solemnity, mournful. Even the idea of tempo could be, tempo could also be, something that open to people. So that's an example. Then the next layer, let's go to the writing board. With this, I want to invite you now to the writing board, and I'm going to stop sharing right away. I will invite you to the writing board. Let's create a phrase. So I'm going to give everyone. You are going to choose a theme for yourself. Start now. Choose a theme for yourself, and think of the 4-step process. And I'm going to let me stop sharing. Yeah. But before the writing board stage, if you have a question, fine, you are welcome to interrupt and ask. But importantly, I'm going to invite you to the writing board right away. And I want you, let me copy the writing board stuff. So, okay, I'm going to copy. Yes. Boom. So check. So you can just click that link. You could kindly click that link and join the writing board. Then you'll find yourself. Uh, then we can do work together. So the writing board, yes, I'm sure you are there. I'm going to share this. I will share the screen so we can all work together on the right. Okay, some people are there. Are some people are already on the writing board. So I'm going to show everyone the writing board, and we're going to work together. I hope that's fine. Okay, here is a writing board. I'm inviting you. Choose a topic for yourself. It could be music or anything, any topic. If you have done that, okay. So think about it for a minute. Quickly compose. Now, it's composition, of course. Quickly put your thought together. Yeah, put yourself together. So if you are done with that, visualize the first step and go to the writing board and write something, a paragraph, and let's see. Okay, I can see people working already. Now, one thing that I like to inform you or bring to your attention is that on the writing board there is no name. You are anonymous. I will only make your name known if you want me to announce your name. So if you don't want me to announce your name, don't worry about that. Your identity is not open. So the writing board is an anonymous space. So don't worry about, you know. And again, I also want to let you know that making mistake is a process of knowledge. So don't be afraid to make mistake. More so, this is a free space. Yeah, there is no wrong idea. Yeah. So be comfortable in yourself and do the work. Yeah. So don't be afraid of making mistake. In fact, if there's nobody's going to know who you are. But the idea is giving us opportunity to work together on a concept. So I can see people writing already. Please take charge of the writing board and let's see how you want to engage this. Okay, someone is writing the movement of people and ideas across space. Okay, I know. Don't worry. Take your time and all right. So let's give ourselves a target. Let's give 5 minutes. How that's not. Let's try 5 minutes. If it's not enough, we can increase, but let's give ourselves a timeline. Let's try 5 minutes based on the 4 ideas. So I'll stop sharing for a while and I'll come back shortly. Okay, 1 minute to go. Okay, 1 minute to go. Okay, great one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people writing. Great. Okay. Waiting for you guys. Thank you for volunteering. So I'll start reading in 1 or 2 minutes to go. Time. Start reading. Great, great, great. Thanks so much. These are interesting ideas. Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay. Good one. Good one. Nice. Great work. Thank you. So let's wait. Yeah, the act of classical thinking in Nigeria grew. The use of timeline. Wow, great one. The movement of people, ideas, and ideas across space and time have been shaped by different factors. Wow, that's big. Then, huh? Yeah, no, no. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yes, I will get there shortly. Okay. Thank you. Vegetables are good for your health. For instance, eating vegetables give you nutrients such as vitamins, minerals, and fiber. Vitamins are essential for healthy eye and skin, and it helps your digestive system. Okay, good one. Thank you. Okay, keep it coming. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Um, okay. Okay. Okay, this is 2:18. Can we stop at 14:20? Can we stop at 14:20, please? Let's stop at 14:20 so we'll explore the examples we have and we can discuss them together. Okay. 1 minute to go. This is 14:19. Okay, let's discuss. I think we are set for that. Okay. Yes, let's start from number one. Wow. Wow. Okay. One, two, three, four. Okay. Five, six. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, let's start from the number one. I am going to read, then we can analyze each of these samples according to the formula or the structure we discussed. So I'm going to read. The movement of people and ideas across space and time have been shaped by different factors. These factors include economic, political, cultural, and technological. Okay, yes. For example, yeah, we have two evidence there. Okay, or further unpacking, of course. Yeah, for example, internet technology has increased the movement of ideas and cultural practices beyond the borders of nation states. Cultural activities such as music and dance are now transported to different cultures and peoples through internet media platforms. Thus, internet technology provides the opportunity for cultural ideas to cross geographics to cross geographies without physical human mobility. Okay, let's analyze. Let's break it down. Yes. Okay, let's take this. Yeah. So you can use your mic now. We're going to do this together. So what do we call this? The first layer. What do we call this? What do we call this? What is this? I'm sure you can see the screen. So you are free to use your mic, please. What do we call this? What does this represent? According to our
Sentence.
pardon?
Topic sentence.
Okay, thank you. Topic sentence. Okay. Topic sentence. Great. Then What about this? How do we explain this particular layer?
I, I believe it's an extension of the topic sentence.
Okay, yeah. Any other opinion? Any other perspective on that? Any other perspective as we discuss this? Do you agree this is an extension or something, it's a different idea? Is it part of the topic sentence or a different idea we need to know? What do you think?
I think it's part of the topic sentence.
Okay.
I think it's like an extension of the idea of the topic sentence.
Okay. So we have two voices. Let's have one more voice to be sure. Do we have?
For me, yes, for me, I think it's also it's not a it's another fact that explains the topic sentence.
Another part? Okay. Do you mean
Like
extension of the topic sentence or another concept or another layer?
it's
Is it same layer or another layer?
another layer.
Another layer. Okay.
Another layer.
Okay. Can we get one more line, one more voice, one more perspective on this? Please, can we have one more? Okay. Let me fulfill that role. So now I think this is a continuation. Yeah, because the topic sentence reads, the movement of people and ideas across space and time have been shaped by different factors. Yes. These factors include economic, political, cultural, and technological. Yes, I think it's a continuation. It's like unpacking. Of course, I think it fits both anyway. Yeah, an extension. It's an extension of the first layer, which function as an unpacking or driving further that particular idea. Okay, I think we are all correct. Let's go for is an extension, because the next one, of course, we can have two examples. Yes, I'm happy we are discussing this. We can have two evidence. We can have two, but this is not an evidence actually. It's just like providing. I think it's a continuity of that particular phrase. So let's put it that way, because these factors include. Hello.
Yeah, it's an additional information.
Okay, on the topic sentence, right? Expanding the topic sentence.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so let's put it here let's just add it for now. Let's see. Yeah, because it's raised well. Then this, what do we call this? Is this part of the topic sentence or what? How do we explain this? For example,
For me, why I said, sorry for interrupting.
yeah, please carry on.
Why I said is that another fact is that I can as well make the topic to be movement factors that causes movement of people. The topic can be factors that causes, yes. So if I want to really expand, what are the factors that cause movement of people? That's when I start building up my sentence by introducing examples such as political, economic, and cultural. To me, it's not just part of the sentence, though it just builds up. Because I can as well make the topic sentence to be factors that contribute to movement of people. Then I start giving, I build up from there.
Wow, thank you so much. Okay, can we have you, Mr. Afe?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still want to be a little bit divergent
Okay.
from the just concluded opinion, because I could actually use a conjunction to make both sentences a complex sentence. I could say the movement of people and ideas across space and time.
I think we lost you.
entire topic sentence, only that it's a complex sentence. Thank you, sir.
Okay, this is quite interesting. Any other perspective quickly as we move
Yes,
forward?
sir.
Okay.
I think I agree with Mr. Afe because I could as well read the sentence as the movement of people and ideas across space and time have been shaped by different factors, which include economic, political, cultural, and technological.
Wow.
That is a topic sentence.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be two sentences, it can be one, but that is a topic sentence.
Wow. Thank you so much. Yes, this is quite interesting. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your contribution and expanding this idea further. Thank you so much. So let's move to the next one. So what then the next one is, for example, internet technology has increased the movement of ideas, cultural practices, ideas and cultural practices beyond the borders of nation states. What is that? How do we explain that? What is that layer called? How do we explain that layer? Which is the second. So what do we call this particular layer? Hello? Are we there? So what is this layer? For example, internet technology has increased the movement of ideas and cultural practices beyond the borders of nation states.
Evidence.
Evidence. Okay.
Yes.
Evidence. Thank you so much. So this is evidence. Then the next one, the next layer, let's see, which is cultural activities such as music and dance are now transported to different cultures and people through internet media platform. What do we call this?
Analysis.
Analysis. So this is evidence. Okay. Evidence. Then, so what do we call this? Analysis, right?
Yes.
Okay. Analysis. Okay. Okay. Then the last one. What do we call this?
The wrapping statement.
Wrapping. Thank you so much. Which we call the linking statement or concluding statement. Yeah. Thank you so much. So let's make this bold because it's very important for our explanation and things we do right away. Yes, so we have it here. As you can see this. So the first one, we have the topic sentence. Everything is present. So this is how you analyze yourself. This is how you analyze. So we are going to, of course, this is the first layer in this particular session. So this is how we analyze and this is how we create sentence. So this is a complete sentence. Although on a basic level, this is a paragraph. This is a paragraph. So we have one example of paragraph. So this is a paragraph, a full-fledged paragraph. So let's move to the next one. We'll come back to this definitely. Let's move to the next one. Yes. So I am going to read the next one and I'm going to open it up again for us to analyze. So I'm starting. The use of the timeline or standard pattern is a very common phenomenon in West African reading ensembles. Yeah. Agawu, in his article, Structural or Cultural Analysis, Competing Perspectives on the Standard Pattern in West African Rhythms, corroborates this thought, citing numerous examples in his research. This has a metronomic structure, helping not only to keep time, but also acts as a structural feature which is heard throughout the piece of music performed. However, numerous scholars have diverse views on how to approach the analysis of this phenomenon. My research is aimed at discussing these varying views and their contribution to scholarly work. Let's read once again. The use of timeline or standard pattern is a very common phenomenon in West African rhythm ensembles. Agawu, in its article, Structural or Cultural Analysis, Competing Perspective on the Standard Pattern in West African Rhythm, corroborates this thought, citing numerous examples in his research. This has a metronomic structure, helping not only to keep time, but also act as a structural feature which is heard throughout the piece of music performed. However, numerous scholars have diverse views on how to approach the analysis of this phenomenon. My research is aimed at discussing these varying views and their contribution to scholarly work. This is quite interesting. It's taking us to another layer. Okay, so what do we call this? What is this? What does this represent? Up to this particular, yes. What does it represent up to this level? So this is, of course, what do we call it?
Statement.
Yeah, topic sentence. Yeah, topic statement. Yeah. Yes, topic sentence. That might mean. Yeah. What's going on? Yeah. So topic sentence. So can someone then the next part, who is going to help read out the next layer? Okay, the next layer. Hagawu in his article, Structural or Cultural Analysis, Competing Perspectives on the Standard Pattern in West African Rhythms.
The evidence.
That's the evidence, right? Okay, thank you so much. Evidence to. Okay, now while we're working on this, let's also go a bit deeper into processes, also spotlighting ideas, styles, punctuations, and how they help us, how they drive meaning, how they manifest, how they help meaning making. So let's start from the first one. The use of timeline or standard pattern. What is that? What is this? That's double quotation mark. Why do we have that? Can somebody help explain?
I think it's actually saying exactly what the person said. Quoting exactly what the person said.
Okay. But the question is, the use of the timeline, of course, then another word, or standard pattern. Why do we have, I think they are communicating the same idea, but using this different word, synonyms, or technical word comes in. Why do we have that? Why do we have that? Any try? Anyone want to try? Okay, Grace, can we have you?
I believe the reason why we have that is because the other word might not be generally known, but it might be known but we could have that input.
Okay, so colon or inverted commas they are used to spotlight, to distinguish, to call attention to ideas. So they are used to call attention spotlight, bring to the fore ideas that the writer wants to spotlight. It's like putting, you have many people in the same room on the same stage, and there's, and putting the spotlight on somebody at a particular time. So that is the function of inverted commas. That's what they do. They help, they call attention, and that's what the author, the writer did here. So standard pattern in quote, for you to see that reality. Then let's continue. Then the evidence, Agawu in his article, now the inverted comma here is single, not double. I think okay, I will explain this right now. So now, what do we call this? The evidence now. Agawu in his article, structural or cultural analysis. Then colon, competing perspectives on the standard pattern, that same framing again, okay, in West African readings. What do we call that section? How do we explain that?
That is called supporting evidence.
Supporting evidence. So what is the author using here? The initial one use a known idea, taking us, but this part, but this is different. It's quite unlike the initial, the first one. So
this is reference.
Reference, yes. Thank you so much. So this is reference. Now, instead of just saying, for example, so what he did is Agawu in his, yeah. So it's also we can say the same thing as, for example, Agawu in his. But what the author, the writer has done is simply to, rather than using a general idea, so the author is specific, using the scholarly standard, using a scholarly resources and established knowledge, to explain, to unpack, to provide examples. So that's what I intend. I just want to open that so for some of us can understand why we have that and their function in writing. We have a few things here. Okay, I think everybody should come on the board. Let's work on the board, please. Let everybody come to the board. It's good here because we want to analyze every material and we want to engage. Sometimes it could be your work that is going to help somebody to understand a particular phenomenon, and that is why it is called a session. Yeah, I said it earlier. I am starting from my own angle. Then you are going to help expand. So it's a co-creation. So we are creating together. So please, let's come together to the writing board and let's do this. So you can copy the resources, all the interesting facts, all the interesting examples on the chat. Please bring them on board bring them to the writing board and let's work on them together. Please. Thank you so much. Yeah. So here is the document. Just click the document. Thanks for sharing again. Click document and join us, please. Okay, while we are waiting for you for your wonderful ideas, then we will continue from where we are right now. So yes, this is another form of evidence. The first one was an example drawing on practical evidence, internet. These are practical evidence that shape everyday life. But in this case, this writer intentionally, took another route, using an established knowledge. In this case, an article. In fact, quoting the article in full. But something is missing. What is that in the case of article citation as an example? What is missing here, please? Something is missing.
The page and the okay, well, you did mention of the name of the author.
Yeah.
The page where such will be found is not mentioned.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The year of publication.
The year and
Yeah,
the date,
the
sorry.
year, of course. I think the author is correcting that now. And this particular article is the author now. I don't know who is this, of course, but this article is in 1990s, I think. Yeah, this is part of the competing past. I think I remember this article. Is it that early 20,000, early 2020, early 2020, 20, or mid. I think this should be around 1997 or 1995 because I've read this article over the years and I remember clearly. But of course, this is just an example you are giving. So in the cases where you need to cite, article as evidence, you need to make it scholarly the way it is. Agawu 2019, whatever. You put the date, then you continue. So this is good now. This is perfect now. And also, you also notice the use of the two inverted commas. Who can explain this to us? People need to understand this also. So we don't want to take anything for granted. So we want to pay attention to basic nuances that shape this kind of practice. We want to know because we don't want to ignore. We don't want to throw anything away, please. So who is going to help us to explain this? We have okay.
The article, the author here is quoting this particular article. So there has to be an inverted comma.
Okay.
Agapu in his article, what article? So he's quoting that. But then the standard pattern has double commas because there's already a single comma.
Okay.
In this sentence.
Okay.
The sentence said actually the old topic.
Okay.
Is already being encapsulated in a comma. So
Okay.
we need another kind of comma to show this standard pattern.
Okay. Oh, thank you so much. So now, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. So the point here is that okay, this is 114. Okay, we can get to that. Yeah. So when you quote an article or something, you are calling out a particular, spotlighting an idea or a statement. Now, depending on the journal or who and where you are writing, some journals they have standard for this practice. So
that paper is 2006.
2006. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So some journals have standards. Some department, some institutions, they have standard, and it's either you start with a single inverted comma, and any quote in between you use the double as the author did here, or you start with double inverted comma and any quote in between you use single. I just want to clarify that for us because this is very important. So, but let's move forward. Citing numerous examples in his research. Yes, unpacking. Thank you so much. Evidence. Yeah, that's evidence. Thank you. So let's move to the next stage. This phenomenon has a metronomic structure. Okay, a metronomic structure helping not only to keep time but also acts as a structural feature which is heard throughout the piece of music performed. Okay, I hope this person was not here last week. You can tell from that. Of course, this is good, but in most cases, of course, different writer with different voices, different approach to prose and phrasing. This is another approach, which is great. But in all, this is a prose. But difference is that you could see, as mentioned earlier, every writer has their own voice registered, the way they phrase all these things. So I can see another approach, which is quite interesting. But in most cases, it could be read as technical. You could tell this is not from a beginner writer. One could tell, yeah. So let's continue. So this, what do you call this number 3? What do we call this now? Are we there? Number 3, what do you call the number 3, please? So what is number 3? What we have here? Can we call this analysis or what?
Impacting.
Is this still evidence or analysis?
This is more evidence.
Evidence?
Yeah, I think it's still unpacking.
Okay. Any other perspective? Any other point? Yeah, you're free to use the mic, please.
For me, it's an analysis. It's further explained.
Analysis, right? Hello? Sorry, we lost that. Okay, please use the mic again. So, is this an, can we explain this as analysis or continuation of the evidence?
The general aspect.
Through its general perspective, it further spoke on the proof of what that phenomenon is all about.
Okay.
So it's still more evident on what he was actually talking about.
Okay.
That's my point.
Okay. So, any other contrasting view, or we agree and we continue, we unpack it further?
I think it's analysis.
Analysis. Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
You can see some descriptive element trying to say, okay, this phenomenon has this metronomic structure.
One.
And what does it do to keep the time? And that structure is added throughout a piece of music performed.
Yeah. Okay. So you said is your point is this is an analysis, right? Okay. Then yes, another important layer here. Let's go back to what happened last week for some of us who are not here. So I can see another point, interesting pattern in this number 3, layer 3, which is taking us back to sentence and prose construction, structuring of sentence, and meaning making. So I want to call our attention to something. I'm using this because I noticed this writer is more like this is not a beginner writer. This person is experienced writer. You could tell in the use of language and even prose. You could tell that this particular contributor is an experienced writer. But what can we learn? It's not on the beginning side. This is more on the advanced to intermediate, that level of writing, of use of language now. Talking about use of language now. So let me divide this. This particular sentence you could see is quite a bit, we could divide it. We could, divide it into 3 or 4 sentences. Let's start from somewhere. This phenomenon has a metronomic structure. We could stop there. Pam. It helps. It helps not only to keep time, but also act as a structural feature. Another sentence. Boom. You see? Then the next one, another sentence. Another feature. And it is heard throughout the piece of music performed. Yeah, so we have 1, yes, 2, yes, 3 sentences there. Of course, I am doing this for some of our participants who are early comers. for them to know, okay, sometimes, like, I think we have the same example from the first, yes, this, like one of our contributors said, this can actually be one sentence, like what we just explained here, right? Like this particular case. So in cases like this, what you see is use of language, which we are going to get, we will get to in this project. Don't worry, we have a plan for that. And going back to prose again. But in this case, what I've done is simply to break it down for our early beginners, for them to see, or our intermediate writer. Okay, so I could actually, connect three sentences together as one in case I want to manage time, I want to maximize my process. Yeah, and you see more of these in some advanced level of language uses and writing. Yeah, but in most cases, the unique thing about it is that they are complex. They are not for, you know beginners. They are mostly for advanced readers also, who could instantly grab it because they are used to that process. So this is just to point this out, for to unpack this type of writing. Don't forget, it's a writing session. So we analyze the processes, language, style, to bring about a holistic understanding of what we do. So then, yes, I think it's analysis, or it could also function as continuous, continuation of the evidence. Because one thing also about this reality is that in most cases, some evidence can also double as analysis. Some analysis can also play the role of evidence. But it's intentional today to separate them, because we are going to build on this reality. We want to know, to make things very simple for everybody, because we know we have different levels of learning stability, learning power right now. So we want to make sure everybody understand that we are working together, and everyone understand what we are doing. So that's the need for this analysis and breaking down of ideas. Thank you. Then the last one, obviously. So we call this what? But there's the however. It's quite interesting. So who can help us here? Somebody needs to. So what do you think about the however? Numerous scholars have diverse views. Numerous scholars have diverse views on how to approach the analysis of this phenomenon. That's another layer. Who can explain? Who can help with that? Somebody needs to help us. What layer is this? What is this author trying to do? What is this writer doing here? What is happening here? Unlike the initial one, it was a straight, very, 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 very straight, clean. Everything. Both examples are clean, but the first one was straightforward. It was, But this case, we are having to move. Of course, like I said, as explained, this is typical. This is a typical writing of an advanced writer, advanced language user. So who is going to help us? This number 4. However, numerous scholars have diverse views on how to approach. Okay, please.
Yeah, the writer was actually doing a link between the thought process and what the general view or general belief as regards what he was discussing on was all about, and he uses that to actually do the concluding statement.
Okay.
The however is a conjunction. Like, okay, well, I haven't said this. I haven't said that, well, there is the metronomic structure that helps to keep time. There is, which also acts as a structural feature. It is heard throughout the piece of music performed. However, there's this thing that anytime you have a big box, there is always a big problem. So maybe the big problem is that, for him making the connection between, I have said this. However, there is the general belief about this, that if you do this, that, and all that.
Okay, thank you so much. Another perspective, do we have competing perspective, or do we have that? Do we have any competing perspective here or ideas? Okay, so this is what I want to say about this. As mentioned, it is obvious that this writer is quite intentional about what he's talking about, given the different approach the person is using, and this particular level, this is another level of analysis now. The writer is doing something which is very important. So here I see traces of critical engagement also manifesting here. So rather start from a basic, introducing the idea, standard pattern. So it's more like, of course, the notion of standard pattern, the theme of this particular paragraph is a competing idea. It's a sphere of there's a lot of controversy around that. Hence, even the writer, using, putting it in quote, it shows that that particular term or even that idea itself is open, is quite, it's an ambiguous one, and also across scholarly, discursive trope, this particular idea is that generated controversy in the past, and that remains today. So the writer, towards the end, haven't laid down the more like explanation, introducing the idea, bringing big voice, particularly somebody who is synonymous to this kind of argument, Kofi Agawu, into the conversation, then analyzing it, breaking it down. Haven't done that. The writer also intentionally inserts himself, his or herself, in that process. One, problematizing what he just explained. So the point here is that you, as a writer, you can write things. You can, of course, it's our primary assignment to lay down ideas, but you can also insert yourself, your personality, your research, your view. That okay, I haven't said all this. This is what this phenomenon is. A, B, C, D. This and this. I've done this, but I differ because my research shows this and this and this, which is contrary to what initial scholars have done. I love that. So this is a scholarly business. So at this level, this particular writer is reflecting, also inserting his or her own work, his or her own voice, acknowledging Agawu's position, the common knowledge of standard pattern, but contending that, okay, I haven't said all this and this has been done. I have a different perspective and different approach. That is what we have here right now. That is what we have. And again, however, numerous scholars have diverse views, of course, on how to approach the analysis of this phenomenon, of course, pointing us to that controversy that has shaped this idea over the years. Then, not just opening us to tension, but telling us that, look, my own work, my research is aimed at discussing these varying views and their contribution to scholarly work. So this man, this person, this woman, this lady, this person is taking an interesting position, which Agawu himself is a typical example, is that you open up discourse and then you are not supporting, you're not standing, you're not taking side. You are the referee. You are bringing everyone together and look, yes, I have heard you. Just wait. My work can help. it's one of the, I think it's an interesting component of scholarly work, which which is glaring here. This person, thank you so much. Yeah. So this is, you could see, this stands at a particular junction, in scholarly writing that goes beyond, a particular. So this is because that level, that departure, reference, there's a a lot going on there. Don't worry, we'll get there. And when we get to the aspect of voice, positionality, this is what the author has just done here. Thank you so much for that person. And again, unlike the usual conclusion, this author is opening that layer into the next phrase. So if the author had continued, what you are going to see in the next paragraph is he or she introducing her own work. That is what you are going to see if the person had continued to the next paragraph. Because he said the last one is, my research is aimed at discussing these varying views and their contribution to scholarly work. Then the next thing you are going to see, my research is this and this and this. The person introducing his or her own work in the next paragraph. I like this. Okay, let's quickly move to the next one. So this is, we call this, the first one. Somebody remove something here. The 3, analysis. Analysis there. Sorry. So we have the analysis there. Then the last one we have, of course, linking, but in an interesting way. Linking statement in an interesting way. I like the approach there, of course. Yeah. Yes, so we have another stuff. So can we try one more, and we go back to general session and we continue, because as explained, the focus today, this is not something we want to rush. There's a lot going, and as you have seen from the few examples we have taken, we have seen a lot of dynamics that we had to explain, unpack. This is the work of writing. Writing is also analyzing. So why do we analyze? We analyze to know. Paragraph is very important. So we can't finish it, on a section. We need to create more sections, because we are going to do a lot of analysis. What we are doing right now is called knowing through analysis. Yeah, so that is what we are doing. Yeah. So let's move to the next one quickly. Let's do one or two. What's the time? Oh, let's do one more and we close for the day. So quickly. Okay. Wow, we have 1, 2. Okay, let's see this. Okay, yeah, the art of classical singing in Nigeria has developed immensely due to the effort of phenomenal church musicians such as composers, choir directors, and organists. Many good singers have testified to discovering and improving their skill from their local church choirs with the help of their music director or organist. Many of these singers go on to become masters of the art after being exposed to more training and performance platforms. Hence, music directors, composers, and organists deserve more accolades and recognition than is presently awarded them. Okay, then my next paragraph then goes on to talk about a specific composer or organist or music director and its impact on classical singing in Nigeria. Okay, let me see that linking. Hence, music directors, composers, organists deserve more accolade and recognition than is presently awarded. A case in point. A case in point is so, as you have said. So, of course, I will get to that right now. I'm coming. Let me underline my word. Yeah. So let's go back. Let's analyze this. Let's quickly unpack this. The art of classical singing in Nigeria has developed immensely due to the effort of phenomenal church musicians, such as long statement, long sentence rather, such as composers. Okay, due to the phenomenon church musicians, such as composers. Then I think this is where the naming should come. It should be specific right now. Phenomenon church musician is a collective now. So you need to take us to specifics right now. Like this particular standard pattern, the case of standard pattern, the use of timeline, comma, or standard pattern, being specific is very key, particularly at topic sentence level. You want to make it as simple as possible for people to create that understanding for them to follow you. So what we have here is good, but you could have just make it okay, such as Mr. or Mrs. so or Doctor, whatever you want to call it, due to the help of phenomenal musicians, such as composer, choir directors, of course, because this is what you have done here is the same thing as called the collective noun used earlier, which is phenomenon church musicians. These are collective. So church musicians, composers, whatever. Okay, but it's good. So this is topic sentence. Okay. Topic sentence. Topic sentence. Then comes many good singers. And again, okay, now scholarly writing. Let's be specific now. There is a caveat which I would like to share. It's a writing section. So in writing, particularly at this stage, you want to shut down the emotion aspect of your voice. Many good, many fantastic, many brilliant, many musician. Yeah. So as a scholar, we wear critical cap. So you are not exaggerating. No, you are on point. Many good, many fantastic. No, that's not in your. In most cases, you don't use that. Yeah, of course. You can say it. Of course, there are ways of saying it with a more nuanced way, without showing your attachment or your own personal emotion. Yeah. Particularly in scholarly, many good. Yes, good is still manageable, but most fantastic, brilliant. That you need to tone it down and focus on because by that you're already taking side. You don't take side in most cases. You are a scholar. You are curating ideas for people. So you want to let them judge. Yeah, you want to see them. It's a critical space. It's not your position to many fantastic. That is common everyday parlance. The writing voice is different to that in many cases anyway. Okay, many good. I'm going to strike the good here. You can just say many singers. It's okay, it's fine. Many singers have testified to discovering and improving their skills from their local church choir with the help of their music director or organist. Okay. So, what do we call this? Is this evidence or continuation of the topic sentence? Hello? Is this evidence or continuation of the topic sentence? Hello?
Sir.
Ba?
I think it's evidence.
Evidence, okay. Evidence. Yeah. Then the next.
Sorry, I was going to ask a question.
Okay.
Question.
Okay.
So, instead of saying many good singers, Could the author have said many singers who have created a niche for themselves, you know, or who have gone on to establish themselves as, professional
Yeah,
classical singer?
professional, yeah, who has, yeah, who have established themselves. Sometimes you can even you can even detach yourself from that word by putting it in quotation mark, as explain themselves as
Exactly.
professional singer. Yeah, that's it. Explain
And
themselves as
then
professional.
continue,
Then you
have
continue.
testified to discovery.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, then you continue that. Yeah. So don't forget his scholarly voice is a critical voice. So you want to, as much as possible, to be there. You are connected to the writing, but you don't want to play the role of the subject or the role of the protagonist of your process, of your writing, or of your creative process. You don't want to play their role. Let them play their role. Yeah. So then the next one, many of these singers go on to become masters of the art after being exposed to more training and performance platforms. How do we explain this? How do we explain this? Example, analysis, evidence. We have. Can we still explain this as part of the evidence or what?
Yes, this still looks like evidence to
Evidence.
me.
Okay. Any other perspective? Okay. I think many of these singers go on to become. Okay, we have a point. Let's see. Analysis. Okay. Many of these scholars go on to become masters of the art after being exposed to more training and performance platforms. No, this is not analysis. I'm not sure this is analysis. It's still part of the perhaps evidence or even explanation of something. Yeah. Then let's see the next one. Hence, music directors, composers, and organists deserve more accolades and recognition that is presently our. So now it's another point of argument now. So here, this writer is conversing, or it's like advocating for something, but I will have done it in a different way to make it known, like the case of timeline, the standard pattern. The author made it so clear from the beginning that it's going to be, in quote, the devil's advocate, in quote. He made it clear from the beginning, by saying the so-called time standard pattern. So that was clear. We knew, okay, this person is not taking side. This is no. So we got the gist from day one, from this topic sentence. So the same thing, this scholar, and by that, the scholar is taking a stance, which is scholarly credit, of course. You take a stand, and you stand by your point. So, but in this case, this particular person is taking a stand, but not directly. Rather, is he or she is writing himself in the place of the protagonist. Reviewers are going to call you out for this. They are going to tell you, no, don't do this. Reviewers are going to call you out. They are going to, of course, depending on where the article is going. But if you're taking a stand, it's perfect. Take it from the beginning and let's see let there be clarity between your stand and the protagonist. The content, the people who constitute, who shape your narrative, and whose voice, how you are mediating the voice. Very important. Yeah. So the next one, we have many of these singers who want to become. Then ends, music directors, composers, and organists deserve more. Yeah, this is advocacy. I'm coming. There's nothing wrong in advocacy, of course. There's nothing wrong in advocating for something, but you need to do it in a way that spotlights you. I'm speaking for this stuff, and the way you put it in a way that won't distract your reader. They won't feel the emotion. The emotion won't, because the emotion triggers and distracts. When you write from emotion, it distracts readers. Readers start hearing your voice rather than hearing the voice of your protagonist. So that is a clash. There's a clash of interests. So your interest must be protected at all points, not making it open. Yeah. So on that note, this person needs to, again, when you write, you want to allow your writing to speak, to direct. What you provided in bracket shows that you are also not too sure of your structure. So you are not sure that, okay, this conveys your idea. So you have to provide extra notes. My next paragraph then goes on to talk about a specific composer. This shows yourself that, look, I am not too sure that this conveys my idea. No, that's not what you want to write about. So you want to write that paragraph to fit that particular format, that by the time the reader is getting to your linking sentence, they don't need extra word in the bracket, like we've read for the first two paragraph. I hope this makes sense. Otherwise, thank you so much for giving us this, of course, but you can correct it here also. Then let's do one more as we go back to, let's come to, okay, culture. Let's do the last one. Culture in Africa are being transmitted orally and in the same view so as music. Okay. Now we are going to sentence level right now. And same view so as music, that is not too balanced. Yes. And that's how we can came about, okay, another one. Okay. About folk song being anonymous without it having ownership to itself. And as good as this is that, okay. So this sentence, at sentence level, there is, we have some challenges here at sentence level, you see. I couldn't even continue it. These are the said that could drive communal relationship, but it's still a disadvantage. Oh man. So at sentence level, we are having issue already. So I think this, please go back and see the video for last week and the upper week. Yeah, if you listen to those two videos, then you can come back and correct this, please. Yeah. So let's stop sharing for now. At this level, I want to thank you for joining us today. Thank you for joining us. Well, as mentioned earlier, we need to we'll continue with the writing. Definitely, we'll continue. We are going to continue this process. Perhaps next week. Next week is our reading. Our monthly reading session. We are running up the Omojola's book next week, which is, I think, is less than a chapter next week. So we are going to divide the session into two. We are going to start with the reading session to complete the book next week, and we are going to conclude with this paragraph writing. As you can see, we've seen a lot today. I have learned a lot from our contributors. So thank you so much if you have contributed to this process. And to the last person also, thank you for giving us the last two examples we read today. Thank you for giving us those wonderful resources also. Without those resources, we wouldn't have seen those. It's not unique to you. They are common thing. They are the essence. They are the reason why we are having this particular session. So don't feel bad about it. Of course, I don't even know you. We don't know who you are. Hence, we created that platform. So we won't know who and who is writing. We don't need to know you. What we want to see is the content, so we can mediate as we have done today. So please, those two writers, the last two paragraph that we read today, please go back to the first section of our writing session, the last two videos, the last 2 weeks. Please go to our YouTube channel. Let me copy and paste here. So, okay, I think I have it actually. go to our YouTube channel and you see, go listen to them, analyze them. The solution to that challenge I just explained has been provided in those videos. So please take advantage of those two initial recordings. We have treated that problem. It is solved already. So please go there and take your time. Then you can quickly come back and work with us as we progress on this. Because next week we are going to work more on issues. We are going to continue, of course, we are going to continue with issues of paragraphing. Look, paragraph is very important, as you have seen. It's very, very, very important. So we can't rush it. We need to take time to explore it. So for a few 5 to 10 minutes, in case you have something to say before I running off today, I would like to hear from you. In case you have something to say or areas you think we need to focus more, expand more, or explore further, please, I'm inviting you now. Thank you so much. Or you have any question regarding today's session? You are welcome to use your. Okay.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for today's class and exposition. It has been very helpful, and I want to appreciate all of us that contributed also. So my question is this: for some of us that are currently writing, and we need more of these ideas, is there a way that we can actually harness some of these writing skills? Because a lot of things that you have exposed to us today, we are not actually used to it. And the thing that is happening to me is that each time I come for this class, I will have to go back to what I've written before and start editing again and checking that, this is what I've made, this is the mistake I've made. And I feel that this class is really doing a lot for us, and we need more of the materials like this. My question is that, is there a way that we can have a speed exposure to some of these things to help some of us? Because it's really important that some of us get access to some of this material. If there's a material that can help us speed the thing up, even as we still join and engage in the class like this. Sir, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Elisha. Well, yes, you are right. We can't address on the go. We can't address all the challenges around writing, particularly within this context. As you know, as we have mentioned on many occasions, we are starting from somewhere, and this somewhere is not at intermediate level. It's more pre-beginning level. So as you have seen, most of the things we discussed, they are just at basic levels. When I saw that particular reading on a standard pattern, I knew, oh, this is not and I keep mentioning to you guys, look, this is a more advanced. You can see the prose. Yeah, you can see how it is for you it's complex, but at that level, it operates like that. So, but coming back to your point, writing is a continuous process. And what we are doing is just mediating from our own perspective at organelles. You also need to be responsible. Go back to those videos, watch them, and practice. And again, another layer is this: reading helps writing. Depending on what you are reading, though, if you are reading things that are good writings, you'll be a good writer. Unfortunately, I don't know what is good writing or bad writing, but the point is that there are good writing, there are bad writing, but I can't explain any. I can't disagree. I don't know how to put that. But the point is, if you are writing that, look, you write the way you read. You write in the essence of what you read. It is what you take in, you give out. If you are reading first-class articles, if you are reading well-written prose, you will write good prose. If you are reading ambiguous prose. You are used to ambiguous prose, ambiguity. You will write in that way. I don't know if that makes sense. So it is what you take in, you take out. Of course, in this context, there's a need for systematic process to plan the development, and that's what we are trying to do. We started from general introduction 2 weeks ago. Last week we move on to sentence, prose, phrase. These are beginners level, we see. But I'm happy because it helped a lot of people. It's helping us grow, you see. And now we are moving into paragraph. And paragraph, we need at least 2 more sections on paragraph before even going to article structure. You see, because paragraph is what makes an article what it is. It is combination of many paragraphs with different definitions that makes an article. So we need to hold on for a while on this particular level to treat, at least we can solve the problem with this particular framework, but we can try to mediate to a certain level. So for the first thing I want to do is to share the WhatsApp group. We have the Organelles Writing Lab, which I want to share with you right away. Okay, I think we have it here. I'm going to copy it and share with you again. Yeah, so on the chat, check it. So join the group. We have a lot for some of us. Please, you are welcome to join this group. And that's number 1. Number 2, the video also for the last 2 weeks edition. I'm going to share the link to our YouTube page. Please go and study the video. They address some of the issues we encounter today, particularly in the working session. So we've discussed we have addressed those challenges of phrase, sentence. We have addressed that in those. Please go back to it and read about the prose section, the sentence for last week. You get it. Then also, here is our YouTube page. Please. Yeah, so this is the YouTube page I've shared with us. Please go to the YouTube page, explore it. Apart from the last 2 reading sections, also follow us. So we have a lot of resources there that covers almost, important aspect of music education, music scholarship, artistic discourse, particularly for scholars and those in the professional world. That space also it doubles as digital archive space, where we archive on the go. I spoke earlier about our archival and digital project. That is the space. So most of the material you have there, they are the project we've been working on, and also curating this seminar series as a knowledge product. And also making it available to people across the world. So that's our digital space, is our approach to digital humanity and digital epistemologies in archiving, in digital archiving, or even archiving practice in post-colonial Africa. So please take note of it and take advantage of it. So, but follow us so you can have more update when we upload new materials. And yeah, so that's it. Thank you so much. So I have shared the link to the WhatsApp group, and I've also shared the link to the YouTube page. So the resources are there. Please join us. We are inviting you. So next week, we are going to have the business. Next week is twofold. The first one is to finish Omojola's book next week. Then we are going to use the second part to also explore, to drive forward, push forward, intensify our exploration on paragraphing, how to write paragraph, within the narrative writing that we've been exploring in the last 2 weeks. Yeah, yes, can we share the poster for the concert, please? So in 2 weeks' time, we are having our yearly, I think we can call it annual concert seminar now. So we'll be having this program. We started last year, and we are having it again this year, but taking another direction, another turn in terms of explorations and in terms of the value. So the question is, what is sacredization? At what point does a secular music becomes sacred. So we are not only we are not exploring this through the established paradigm or scholarly discourse. We are taking a different turn. So we are drawing on artistic praxis, performances, rooting our evidence in practice, performances. But definitely, you will see more of this invitation across our social media pages, and also across spaces that we have presence. Most importantly, you will get invite and details of this event. We'll share with you definitely. But please kindly diary this, keep this in your schedule, and join us on 8th of March. We are going to have that live at the Mountain of Fire and Miracle Ministries headquarters, in international headquarters at Yaba in Lagos, and also online. So it's a hybrid event, so you are welcome to join us. And not just joining us, please come prepared with questions and ideas, and to engage that phenomenon for that day. So we are looking forward to having you. So thank you so much. Do we have any questions or any point, just like Elisha did? Any anything, any aspect you want clarification, or you want clarity, or you want to contribute? Yeah. Okay, let's have you.
Thank you very much. Hello?
Yeah, please, can you hear me? Welcome.
Thank you very much for the time and for the explosive session. I quickly want to make a comment on what you said about the reading, and
Okay.
I just want to share what a younger mentor shared with me some times ago, when he said, we are what we read.
Yeah.
And that we produce what we embodied. And not only that, we produce what we consume.
Yeah.
And critical thinking is always, that research is about perspective, and that has actually came to fore in some of the things that we practically, in some of the things that we did research in them.
Yeah.
Now, when you, while talking about the second to the last example,
Yeah.
one that as a writer should be dispassionate. His emotion shouldn't be seen. That because at that point, if it's being seen as against being the protagonist or the protagonist, the question that came to mind was, what happens if the author employs the style, the Venice style? I think that's what it's called. What happened, because perhaps he's trying to tell a story about what has happened. And that was actually the example I actually did when I actually wrote, but I think I posted on the link. So perhaps you didn't capture it. Yeah. What happens when an author writes and he is talking about, maybe, in 1998, this happened, and he's talking about himself as the subject. I don't know if you understand that,
Definitely.
The storytelling style and all that.
Yeah.
As against what you actually, told us earlier that one should actually avoid doing.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Of course, I am used to this question, and we are used to this question. So now, I agree with you 100%. Look, the point is not that authors, as a writer, particularly from the scholarly perspective, what we do is representation. Now, also, that's first. The second layer is that there are writing genre. There are genres of writing. What we have been exploring is narrative writing, which combine description with another layer of expression. we have autobiography process, we have the historical process in it also. So it combines ethnography, and as you know, ethnography is writing, is an account of event you experience. So there's no way you are going to write, you are going to detach yourself. In fact, ethnography is about you being there, reporting the event from your own lens, you know, but borrowing the native, the producer's perspective and their emotion to document that process. But you are there. So you are part of the production. You are part of the data. You are part of the story. So you need to write in that way. And that is one of the, hallmark of narrative writing. If you read ethnographies very well, that is how ethnographers, that's how they write. You see the way they coin the prose, the way they shape their prose and sentence. It's always from their perspective. I saw this, and he performed. Oh, she said this, and I responded. Oh, I didn't. I did this. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, so that is what you see. So it's in first person. In first person. But from what we read today and the samples we saw today, not in that case. This is like somebody saying, this person has taken a position already. Look, the point is that ethnographer now, the scholarly writing we are talking about is also representation is taking a position. If you don't like Agoyin music, or if you don't like Ijebu's music, if you can't take position, then you shouldn't go and study it. We are representing it. But there's a way in the scholarly trend and genre that you represent that you are not showing emotion. You are not too emotional about it, but you are emotional in the sense that what that person wrote is, of course, I'm used to that writing in this part of the world, of course, but it's not it's not the scholarly standard. Yeah, there's a difference between when we write for a Facebook post and when you write in this narrative scholarly context. That one seems more like, when you do Facebook posts and these people are very good, they are very good. No, that's not scholarly. Of course, and again, I spoke about genre of writing. When I write on Facebook, when I write for social media, or what we call public writing, I won't write like I'm writing for scholarly audience. And also, I can also bring together my public writing with, I can merge, fuse, blend the two together. So my writing can speak to broader audience. But in that position, I won't use there's something called superfluous, cliche, exaggeration. I won't do that. Those are not, they are anti scholarly writing. No exaggeration, no cliche. So cliche is like, oh, she sings so beautifully. That's cliche. Oh, she's very good. She's the best. Those are cliches. Oh, they sang so badly. That is not how choir sing. No, that's cliche. Yeah, they sound so horribly. In fact, I am recommending that they should employ new organists. No, that is not it. I'm recommending that the conductor spoiled the song. It should have been done this. No, that's not it. We are observers. We are middlemen. What if that thing we saw as not good is their own tradition, is their own standard of the best? What if? So this is where critical thinking comes in. When we go to concert and somebody is playing and somebody says, oh, I'm a trained pianist, you can't play like that, whatever. The person that's saying I'm a trained pianist has forgotten that the person playing, perhaps he has never practiced on a standardized piano in his life, in his entire 20 years of playing. But the person saying I'm a trained pianist, I'm a trained organist, has been to London. Practice is privilege. Where is that privilege? So the point is this: as a scholar, we are critical people. We don't just approach things from the superficial level. We approach them from the context and the roots. So the first question is that, why are they doing it like this? Is it because they don't have instrument? That's our point of entry. Empathy. Oh, why? The question is always asking. We are always asking questions. It is in our question that the answer lies. In fact, we don't go there with assumption. We go there with free heart. Then we we immerse ourselves to get into the deep of the issue. If I'm studying, for instance, if I'm working with a particular choir in Lagos, or I'm using choir because choir art music is popular here, so we do a lot of choir thing and orchestra, So that's why I'm using that. So if I, for instance, if I'm working with a band, let's say a police band, and because I'm used to police band in Germany or elsewhere, so I'm not saying, look, this guy, they are not tuned, they are playing off tune. The question is that, what is my idea of tune? What is their own idea of tune? We might not have the same idea of tuning. Yeah, we might not have the same idea, because the trumpet they are even playing might not even look. Let's not start that. So, but the point is, we start with the local context. Why are they doing what they are doing? That's our entry point. What I see as the standard conducting, the professional practice, they might be doing it and even be dancing about it. And you see the church people, they are liking it. People are enjoying it. They are praising God. That is their own ways of doing it. The question for scholar is, okay, why? That's the entry point. Why? Why will always lead us to where we are going to? But if I find myself in that place and I start saying, oh, this person has spoiled this Hallelujah chorus. Oh, they have bastardized this Hallelujah chorus. This is not Hallelujah chorus. No, I'm saying that because of my own subjective position. I'm performing my privilege. The person there might not in their life. That's their own world. So the question as a scholar is, we go there and we enter into their life from their own perspective. I won't go there and impose my own years of scholarship, years of practice, years of training on them. No. I need to drop my scholarship somewhere and enter into the place and start from their own perspective. If they are clapping, hallelujah, hallelujah, I must join them. If I don't join them, I won't understand why they are clapping. I don't know if I'm making sense. So it is when I join them, then I'll start understanding, okay, this is why they clap to that hallelujah chorus. Okay, this is what this clapping is doing for them. Okay. Oh, this is why this organist plays this long variation towards the end. This is why the organ is so loud towards the end. I won't go there and be saying they are playing rubbish. Why would they be playing variation towards the end? No, I won't. It's not my job. My job is to get close to the organist to learn why he's doing what he's doing. Because it is in exploring that why I am learning about that practice. Then I am practicing scholarship and research. So I am not going there with my own subjective idea, with my own privilege. I need to say this. What we are saying now is what shaped early ethnographies of Africa. That's why many early ethnographers, early writing about Africa, they are subjective. They were written from the subjective part. The metropolitan scholars will come to Africa and say, oh, they are barbarians. They don't eat with spoon. Forgetting that the context that they are talking about doesn't understand what is spoon. So these are the issues. Perhaps we are going into the idea of decolonization gradually. So the point here is that we need to start from them. We need to start the research. Start from, if they are using their head to play the piano, the question is why? Why we never, when you won't be misled with why. Because why will humble me to settle down, okay, I need to make friends with that pianist to see why he's doing what they are doing. Oh, I need to make friends with the conductor to see why he's dancing. Is this dancing a therapy for the choir or for the audience? In fact, in most cases, the dancing conductors, you see that people are dancing, people are enjoying it. Unlike when, perhaps, in my own case, going there, I will be the white, the professional. People might not even enjoy my professionalism because they are not used to it. We don't share the same terms of reference. They share the same. Look, many years ago, I need to share this because it's very relevant. I need to share this. I got it's a story, of course, from one of our elder brother who is a good organist. So he worked in a particular church. This church, they contributed money to buy those gbamole, whatever, fakafiki, this that old pipe organ, that old organ. and he went to serve in that community. So they have one person playing the organ with one hand. That bellows, and we're playing with one hand, but playing the melody. People like it so much. The day this elder brother who went to serve in this community, who is a trained organist actually, played, the church rejected it. Said no. No. We're not used to this one. This one is just confusing us. Yeah. He says it's confusing us. Because they are used to that one person who plays with one hand, and it has become their life. So they enjoyed it. The moment he left the organ and the next person went, continue. You could see. He said you could feel the smile. He that has been playing back and handle and everything, it was useless. So that's the case. So the point is, the research starts from their perspective, not our perspective. In fact, they are the owner of the knowledge. We are just learners. Any question? I hope that makes sense a bit. Yeah, but we are going to, these are the things we are addressing gradually. And the writing itself is a journey. We are just starting from somewhere. We are driving, we'll get somewhere. Yeah. I hope that answers.
To corroborate the story. Yeah, you did. That's actually it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
To corroborate your story, in the course of my research for my thesis, I got to a church in St. Vincent the Cathedral. Okay, Bola. And I was told that when late Tayoba only returned to Nigeria, he was employed in the church for a while, and an average Okibola person just wants to worship for 1 hour. So coming from the United Kingdom, and where was so used to playing variations and all of that. So we just play variation in the course of perhaps rounding up the service, and when they're doing the recessional hymn, and then after that we start playing the postlude. And while playing the variation, it was said that, and some of those elites back then we just kini one play, right? That's what exactly is this man playing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
We are just service and then your service is married, then you are not playing postlude. At that time everybody is just talking to you because it's alien to them. It's not their culture. I just said that to corroborate what you said about taking things from the angle of the people we are researching on.
Yeah. So I agree with you, definitely. So the question is, as a researcher, particularly from this part of the world, we need to start rethinking our approach, and how even the writing is a research also. So because the writing is a mode of communication, and that's why we are having what we are having now. So the writing voice is a research voice. So particularly this narrative writing, because research, what we do is we describe what we encounter, but in different ways, not just describing the do ABs and that. No, it's called narrative writing. So, and that's why we are doing what we are doing, to use the writing mode to secure, restore, transform tradition, to uphold, certain types of, ways of doing it that, that can help, change, sustain, promote African music, culture, and everyday life, So we can also have something for ourselves. Okay, we have done this, we have this training, we did it. So that's what we are doing. It's empowerment, it's a collective development we are negotiating. So that's what we do. Of course, this is what we do at Organ House, Martin Top University, particularly for students studying here. So this is usual, this is a norm for them. They know that, so this is what we do. So, but for those joining us from elsewhere, of course, you might see, what are they talking about? This is what we are doing, is mediating in a certain way. So thank you so much. So yes, we will continue the process next week. So next week agenda is twofold. One is to finalize the reading session. Then the second is to continue this, paragraph session. And we are going for those on our link on our group, we are planning an in-person writing workshop. We are definitely going to announce that on this same platform. So look forward to that, please. So we are going to have in person, could be 2 days or 3 days at the organ house. So we'll send you the details. We invite you. If you're interested, you can join us. So the idea again is to empower through this medium of writing. Writing is key. Writing is research. Yeah, that's it. So thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for joining us as usual. Again, this is Organ House Class and Seminar Series. For those joining us for the first time, next week again we'll be here. So on a weekly basis, we gather, we come to this space to negotiate different forms of knowledge and forms of empowerment. Thank you so much for joining us. So see you next week again. Thank you so much. Bye.